Are you tired of sitting on the sidelines watching opportunities pass you by? You know you have what it takes, but something's missing. It could be doubt, confidence, or fear that you're not representing your best self. Whatever it is, it stops now. It's time to align your passion with your purpose and seize the opportunities that await you. I want to see you get back in the game. So join me and my expert guests as we talk all things image, branding, and a bit of entrepreneurship. So if you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to help you amplify your presence and define your impact for greater success, sit with us as we talk about it. Branding and to help you live and lead with impact. I'm your host, Jenny Dewberry, certified international image, personal brand coach, and consultant. And I'm so glad that you are joining us today for this conversation. The Image Connection Show is a conversation-driven show that explores how our inner alignment impacts or influences our outer image, personal branding, visibility, and so much more. Every choice we make, from how we show up, how we present ourselves, is influenced by what's happening inside. And so this show exists to help you connect that so that you are not just seen, but you are fully understood. And today I have joining me Lisa Craig. Lisa is the founder of Lisa Craig Photography, and she's located in Denver, Colorado. She's a marketing master photographer, brand photographer, corporate headshot specialist, and marketing strategist who helps professionals and businesses owners create their image that builds trust, confidence, and credibility. Her work is built around one clear belief: you are your brand. And so help me in welcoming Lisa to the show. Welcome, Lisa. It's a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to see you, meet you again, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. Happy to have you. We're gonna get into this, but I do want to talk about one thing that you shared with me, and that's that you're a former competitive ballroom dancer. And
Yes, I am. I
Mhm.
spent about 10 years competing in ballroom dance. I absolutely loved it until I hurt myself.
Oh yeah, forced to stop then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of forced to stop it. So it was bittersweet, but it was, I would just say it was my recovery after I got divorced. It
Hmm.
was the way that I got myself out of the house and back into life again. I just danced my legs off.
Almost literally. I hope not, but yeah,
Yeah.
you feel injured. But you've also said that that experience taught you a lot about presence, posture, confidence, and movement. And I think that, movement really stood out to me because many of us, we don't understand that movement is one of the most overlooked aspects of body language. We think about all the other things, but we really don't think how we move through spaces, how uh, our gait, how we're standing, how we're sitting, all those things, they matter in branding. They help us shape our brand as well. And so I think that's so true in that when we think about personal branding, um, it's important again for people to understand that. So I want to start with one question. People hear all the time, it's used all the time, that you are your brand. And so I understand what that means, but it's thrown around so much that it's become almost a buzzword. But can you tell me what you mean when you say that?
Okay, so we are our brands, and how that looks is everything we do. So whether you are posting something online or whether you are standing in line at the grocery store, if you are looking like you just got out of bed and you're in your pajamas and you're at the grocery store and somebody asks you, what do you do?
Mm.
What are you going to tell them when you're standing there in your pajamas? So I think it's always about how you're going to represent yourself. Because being our brands, how do we represent ourselves out in the world once we leave the house? And even if you're maybe in your house, but so show up the way you want people to remember you.
Right.
And how that reflects the kind of business owner you are, the kind of person that you are. That's how you want to show up.
And I was going to say that I'm glad you said that, we are the face of the business. People are going to experience us most times long before they experience our services, our products, our businesses. And as you said, I used to joke, if I go to the store and I have on a hat or something, oh, I'm not an image consultant today. But again, you never know where you'll find that opportunity. So it's always best to be prepared for that. And let's just not sit in our pajamas.
I got one of my best clients at the grocery store.
Me too.
In the produce section. And so I was presentable, and I might not have been in my work clothes, but I was not in my pajamas.
Right.
And it was really interesting. So you never know where you're going to meet your next client.
Right.
And I think it's also important to be cautious in your social media. Be cautious about whether you're going to be talking politics, religion, any of the controversial topics, because any of those people could become a client unless you burn them. Yes. And you might burn them with your opinion. And in business, I mean, for the most part, your political beliefs, your religious beliefs may really not have any role to play in the product that you're selling. So I just say, I caution people, be careful what you post and don't go on any big rants.
Yes.
Because people are watching, and whether you're doing it on your personal page or on your business page, they're watching.
They are. They're always watching. And I do agree with that. But I will say, in terms of, I never, ever discuss politics. I mean, what my beliefs are and what I am, and that is for me and my family and my personal circle. However, I don't discuss religion, but sometimes God has a way of just working his way in there. And so if you have to touch on it a bit, that's okay. I want people to know it's okay, because we should never deny, that. Yeah. We should never deny him, but we don't want that to be the core, especially in business. We don't want that to be the core of the conversation. So I get and understand that. But I know that when I first started in my profession, I was always told what you just said, which is true. But I felt detached because, if someone would bring it up, what do I say? Do I talk about it at all? So, I've learned over the many years is that I can announce that I am, Christian and a woman of God without being trying to persuade someone to think like me, so to speak. But
agreed. And I tried, I'm a Christian as well. So I try to show how that works in my life based on how I am and how I show up everywhere I go. And I let that, my actions and how I walk through this world, show that I am a Christian versus, shouting it from the rooftop, that I am. It's more about my behavior and how I treat other people.
So true. Image. Yeah. And being mindful of that and just being who you are. When your light is shining, no one even has to ask. They already know. So
ironically, so I'm going to try to show you, but on my wrist, I have this bracelet that has it's like a light bulb that attaches. And what it means is if that light bulb is outward, so that everybody can see it, that means I'm shining my light today. That means I'm having a good day and I am able to spread my light. And then I can turn it so that it faces inward. And so anybody else that might have this same bracelet would know that maybe I could use a little extra bump today. And so this is how you let your light shine. I also show my light.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. Nice bracelet, I would say.
Yeah.
Unique. Unique. I've never heard of that before. But yeah, so we're going to talk about updating headshots. We talked about, going into the store, not being prepared. The same goes for your digital footprint as well. Getting online and presenting who you say you are, right?
Yes.
Professional headshots, making sure those are kept up. So why do you think so many people delay in getting these headshots or brand photos?
Well, I think first off, I think most people are not like, their favorite thing is not to go get pictures.
Mhm.
Some people love it, but the average person does not like to go have their pictures taken, partially because they may not like how they look or how they think they look on camera. And maybe they've gained weight, maybe they've aged, maybe any number of things could have happened. Maybe this is a really heavy season in their life. However, it is important to update your look as as you change, because we grow every day
Mhm.
in one way or another. And I'm not talking like by how much we ate. I'm talking, we're changing ourselves by how we interact with the world,
Yeah.
and it changes us. And maybe we are moving in a different direction in our business, and we need to show that. And so it's important that people see who you are, the real you, and
Mhm.
not an AI version of you.
Right.
It's like it needs to be the real you. And it helps them create trust by
Mhm.
the minute they see a real picture of you, then they can start determining, I think I trust this person a little bit more
Mhm.
because they've showed up in a real picture. And so it builds trust and it builds a connection that is more centered around relatability, that they can relate to you in some form or fashion. Maybe because you like purple and you wore purple in your shirt, in your picture. Or maybe you wear glasses, they wear glasses. Whatever it is,
Mhm.
that picture forms a connection right off the bat.
It does. I
So
agree.
that's really what's super important about getting, an updated headshot.
Mhm.
There's more to go with that for branding, but just remember, a good headshot is not the picture of you with somebody else at the wedding where you cut yourself out.
Yes.
That's not it.
No, not at all.
It's,
And I would hope that, professionals know that, but not everyone does. Some
yes.
people think, like you said, if they're at a celebratory event, that's okay to go online, especially on LinkedIn. I mean, it's a professional platform. So the
Yes.
standard is quite different than what it would be on Facebook, a more social app. And so what makes a premium brand image different from a basic brand shoot or photo?
Yeah, I think for me, the premium image has more to do with, there's an interaction that happens between me and the client about,
Mhm.
first off, I want to know about their business. I want to know what the goals of their business are, and who their ideal client is. And all of that information I take, and that contributes to how I coach them
Mhm.
about what kind of photos are we going to take. Are we taking them in a studio or outside, or are we taking them in their office?
Mhm.
All of that is really determined by what their goals are in the business.
Yeah.
So that's where I start, is just like working through that. I think also a premium image, we go through and we determine, what are you going to wear? And that is all like based on your brand. It's all matched up to that. And the
Mhm.
message or the story that you're trying to tell. Most photographers who are not at a premium level, they may be able to just take a shot,
Mhm.
but that shot may actually not tell the story. And I like to tell the story behind the person. like what's going on. So I'm not just taking a picture of you standing up against a wall, with your arms crossed.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. I want to capture your real personality.
And how important is it that the individual bring prompts to their photo shoot? I think that gives the photo a bit of personality as well, or a glimpse into what that person does.
Yeah. So the props, a part of what we do when you're getting your photos, done for a branding session, headshots, whatever, is we want to show people why you're different, and we want to elevate you from your competition.
Right.
So to do so, I need to make you look different. I don't want you to look the same. I don't want your pictures to look the same as the next coach or the next real estate agent or the next whatever. So props are really key, whether it's a coffee mug that has, some saying on it that is really important to you. That is part of the storytelling. But maybe you have a magic wand, because for you create magic in people's life,
Right.
by maybe you make them not have as much pain, or maybe you give them a new lease on life because you've helped them work through a problem. And so that magic wand might be one of your props, because to them, you created magic by helping them through an issue.
Right.
So props need to be specific to you, not to somebody else. I mean, maybe your thing is, Louis Vuitton shoes, so you want the red bottom shoes. But that doesn't mean you need to wear them in your photo. You could be barefoot and have your Louis Vuittons laying on the floor, and we can see the red bottoms.
Right. Yeah. Because if you are one that is about
it's about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then sure. That's good. That's good to know. I've been on a few photo shoots. I've helped clients prepare for their photo shoots, and I've been on set with them on photo shoots. Some photographers are really great with bringing out that personality, and then some seems like it's just a headshot moment. How would you say, and then how can we lend our own desire to the situation as well, to the experience as well? But how would you advise someone to prepare for a photo shoot session? What are some of the things that they should be doing?
Well, in my sessions, I always have a planning session ahead of time. And that's where we're planning exactly what photos we're taking. Like my clients know exactly what the shots are, so that it's not a big surprise. And if I do surprise them during the photo shoot, it's because I have some new idea at that moment, and I let them know, okay, now we're going to do this, and this is why. I always tell them why. Why do I want you to have your chin up and not down? Why do I want you to push your chin out and not, up? All of those things, they know why. And they know that because I find that if they understand the reasoning,
we'll be right back.
They're easier.
There you are. You lost me for a second. Maybe me too.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was frozen. The beauty of technology.
Now you can live sessions.
Yeah. So I prepare them for what is going to happen. Then during the session, if they feel a little bit like they're just too stiff, then a lot of times I'll just say something wild. I will come up with some, crazy thing or some funny word or whatever. And then pretty soon everybody's laughing. And then, we get something that's more real. Another way that I make people feel more natural in their photos is I don't overpose people. So for instance, if I have you leaning on your desk and you're going to lean your arms on your desk, then I might just say, okay, I want you just to get comfortable on your desk, put your arms there. And I want them to relax into that, however they would do that. because if they do it naturally, then they will look more natural. If I make them, do something like this, then if they don't normally do that, then they don't look real. Um, so I try to give a prompt about, lean against the wall or sit here, and then I may adjust their body positioning for better angles so that the picture will look better for their body type.
Right.
But I don't want to adjust them too much. Otherwise, then they start to look stiff.
Okay. And I want to talk about some things that I've experienced when being on set with someone, and that is what I'm there to do, help them with their attire, their outfits. Can you talk about the importance, and I've experienced this with some speakers too, but can you talk about the importance of the clothes that we select, the outfits that we are wearing, the fit, and how we should consider, if we're sitting, how those clothes are going to lay on us or fall on us, whether they're too short, whether they're buckling. Can we talk about the importance of practicing in your clothes before your shoot as well?
Yeah, I think it reminds me of, I have a dress in my closet that I call, it's the stand-up dress. It is not a sit-down dress. Number one, because it scratches. It's got like some little beads and sequins, so it scratches if you sit with it, scratches your legs. So I know that dress is a stand-up dress, and I can only wear it standing. And it is my favorite dress of all time because the color is gorgeous, and when light hits it, it sparkles like crazy. So I know this. When a client tells me, like, we visit their closet, and during the pre-planning, we'll shop their closet, and if they pick out something, I'll say, look, show me some of your favorite things. And if they show me something that is like super loose, then I guide them and let them know that while loose might be comfortable, loose also can make you look larger than you are. And it doesn't matter whether you're a size 2 or a size 22. The larger, the looser the fit, the larger it makes you look.
Yeah, so, and it also makes you look disheveled a bit. It can make you look a little disheveled too.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I want people to like embrace who they are. I mean, you are who you are, and that's what makes you unique, because you are you, and all of you, whatever that is. And so I like to help them with colors that look good with their coloring. And I find a lot of women have a pretty good idea of what they look good in. But if they don't, I ask them, what outfit that you wear is the one you get the most compliments on?
Right.
And then we look at that, and we might accessorize it a little bit differently or elevate it a little bit, and it changes the whole look. So I think what you wear is super important. Short skirts, short dresses, they're okay if you're standing, and they're probably better if you are under a certain age. The older you get, you don't want to be wearing maybe a mini. And that's mostly because there are situations that you're going to be in that you're not just going to be very comfortable in that outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. And I was going to say, not just from a physical standpoint, but mentally, you're going to be thinking about this outfit that you have on. So you're not going to be as productive as you would had you wear something that was a bit more fitting, and not just in size, but just fitting your personality, fitting the situation, and fitting this photo shoot that you're doing and what you're trying to achieve in that.
For sure. You don't want to be tugging at, pulling the top together because it keeps gaping. Or, you don't want to have to be shimmying down your skirt because it keeps riding up. I also suggest to wear like a 3/4 sleeve or long sleeve, because most women are not super happy with the way their arms look unless they're like, super toned and like a bodybuilder or something like that. So the person that's looking at the picture from your photo shoot, that person, the first thing they look at is the lightest thing or the most skin. That's what draws the eye first. So I want them to look at your face. So I like V-necks because it gives literally an arrow that points to your face. If people are following that open area, then it brings them to look at you. And that's also part of how it builds trust.
That's okay. And then coloring is always going to draw the eye to the face too. If you're wearing, whether you're wearing the right color or a color that's going to flush you out. So color is very important. Knowing what works with you and knowing what's going to show up positively behind the lens. I'm not a photographer, but I know enough about that to know that it's very important. How long?
Well, actually, can I just say one more thing about that? I think black and white. So black is a color that a lot of people opt for. We just have to be careful about that because it sucks all the light away. And so sometimes it will leave you looking washed out, or it can cast a shadow. So black is not my favorite for pictures, and white does the opposite. White reflects light. So if you're sitting in front of a window and you have a lot of light and then you have a white shirt on, you're going to look washed out, most likely. So, and white also just washes out. It makes you look paler, unless you have, like a lot of melanin in your skin or tan or something like that. It just will wash you out. So those are two colors I try to avoid if I can, but some people really want to wear black or white.
And then they also need to know that if that's the case, there are variations that they can wear. Instead of wearing all white, wear an ivory or cream, or or if it's a black, wear a charcoal black, something with a little grayish to it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't.
Or wear a dark purple. That is just it's still a dark color, but or navy, because those look really sharp in pictures.
Yeah, I agree. How long have you been doing this, Lisa? I didn't say, but I want you to talk about how long you've been doing what you're doing and what got you into it. I know it's a little late in the conversation, but
well, I say that I became an accidental photographer. I worked I've been in this for 20 years. And so about 20 years ago, a little bit more, I found myself in a situation where I was the marketing director at a resort, and we didn't have a lot of budget for photos. But I had a camera, and so I created my own photos, and pretty soon people were hiring me to take photos of their weddings or, their kids or their families and all of that. And that's kind of how I got into it. And I absolutely just love it. I love the creativity. But I think, so this is my 20th year. And I think what also keeps it really fresh for me is I love pairing the marketing side with it, especially with the brand photography, because it all that to me ties together. I am a weirdo. I think in social media posts or marketing campaigns. So I could be on a photo shoot and I know exactly what the campaign is, and I will tell people, here's the campaign, and that's what I shoot. And it just works. So that is sort of my superpower in that regard.
And because the marketing, it really connects well with photography. It really gives you that edge and that differentiator from some others that are I won't say just photographers, but don't have that marketing experience. So Lisa is a master photographer.
Mhm.
She is a personal brand photographer and a corporate headshot specialist. And she's here just to talk with us about visibility, branding photos, and how you should prepare for your photo shoots and such. So if Lisa, where are you located?
I'm located in the Denver area, Denver, Colorado. I do travel for some clients. I've traveled for their photo shoots, but that's where I'm based out of. And I've been here all my life. I love it here in Colorado.
So if anyone wanted to contact you, we're going to put up a QR code or put up some information on if anyone wanted to contact you, how they would be able to do that. And your website is lisacraigphotography.com. And you can also find Lisa on LinkedIn as Lisa Craig. And then IG and Facebook, it is Photography by Lisa Craig. And there's a QR code there for anyone in the audience that wants to just scan that, and you'll have her information right there on hand.
Yeah, you can scan that. And also that allows you to schedule a free brand audit. That will take you to my scheduler, and it's a 30-minute call. I don't sell. I just want to help you take a look at your brand and see maybe where some missing opportunities are.
Perfect. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk to Lisa a bit more about brand photography and photography in general.
You're not just building a career, you're building a reputation and that of your business. At People Power Consultancy, we coach ambitious professionals to refine their image and shape a personal brand that opens doors. Because the way you show up is your message. If you're tired of blending in, second-guessing your presence, or feeling unseen, this is your moment to stand out with purpose and polish. Visit peoplepowerconsultancy.com to start your transformation. Your next level has a look. Let's define it.
Right. Well, we are back. And I wanted to talk about the mistakes that professionals make with their online image. We touched on that a bit, but if you can go a little deeper on that, what might be appropriate for different platforms in terms of social media, and again, how we present ourselves and our images or our headshots for social media.
Yeah, I think first off, I think the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make is when they try to DIY their pictures, because their business is not a DIY. I mean, you've invested a lot of time and energy and money into your business, and using photos that you just took on your cell phone or through AI are not going to do your business any favors. I think something to think about when people do that is, if you take that shortcut and do your own pictures or whatever, a client may wonder where else you're going to shortcut them. And so I think it's important to invest in that. But people that walk away from a brand shoot, a headshot photo shoot with really great pictures, they walk away with a different confidence too, because they know those pictures elevate them, and they know that it's going to send an impression that matches the impression they want to leave on a client about their business.
Right.
So I think that that's really why it's important. And I think that's the biggest mistake that people make, is that, and they also don't do it frequently enough. I think you need to change your pictures more than once every 10 years.
And that brings me to a question that I was going to ask you. What's similar? Is it okay for someone to use pictures or photos that they have taken, say, 2 years ago? Because sometimes we're busy and we can't, and then sometimes it can get a little expensive. Depending on where you are in your career, and things like that, you may not have the funds to take a picture, get a photo shoot every 6 months or every 2 months. I think someone told me now it's like every month you should update your photos. How often should that happen for one?
I would say, at a minimum, I would say once a year.
Once a year, okay.
Because the thing is, we might have gotten a haircut. We changed the color of our hair. We lost weight, gained weight, whatever the case may be. We may not look exactly the same. And there are ways to do, additional photos without it breaking the bank. There are photographers. I'm one of those where I have packages where I can do a package for you once a quarter. And it's a smaller photo shoot, but you're always refreshing your images. Another thing to think about with that is once you've used the same images over and over and over and over again in your social media, then people will stop seeing that image because you tire the image, like you burn it. That's what I call it, is when you burn an image, it's because you've burned the freshness out of it by overusing it.
I agree.
And then people don't notice it, so it doesn't like pop up in the feed like you want it to.
Yeah, I say that too. I know I've worked with individuals, and sometimes the photo is used over and over and over again. And even I get bored with it and tired of seeing it. So I know that the audience looking at it and looking for me want to see something fresh and new. But it kind of blew my mind when someone that I was speaking with told me, I believe it was every 2 months. That's ludicrous to me. I don't think you change that much.
Yeah, that's a little frequent. But again, it may also depend on the business that you're in and how frequently you're using those images.
Okay.
People that post, multiple times a day, they probably do need to, get more photos. Otherwise, they're going to burn their images faster. But if you're posting, anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week, I would say maybe once a year, do a brand shoot. And I like to have people update their headshot, just their headshot, at least once every 6 months. Because it just gives a little pop of freshness without having to go to the expense of a full brand shoot.
Yeah. And I know, in my opinion, when it comes to accessories, what's too much and what is too less. I think less is always going to be better because it's not competing with the outfit. It's not competing with what you're trying to achieve. But what's your thought about that?
Yeah, less is more. Now, once in a while, like a simple necklace is good, or some of those, like, I think what's really in is people that are layering their necklaces. I think that can look really good right now. But don't do anything that's too, that just focuses on that jewelry. You want your face, everything here needs to be the star of the show. So everything else is supporting cast. And if the necklace you're wearing is so bold, so big, so chunky, that's all you see, then it loses the purpose and the message of what we're trying to do.
Right. Okay. All right. So what would you say to someone who feels uncomfortable in front of the camera?
Oh, well, so I'm one of those. I feel uncomfortable in front of the camera, and I put myself in front of the camera all the time. I think, first off, people are not paying attention to the things you think they are, number one. And people want you just to be you. They are interested in who you are. So just show up, number one. Number two, pick a photographer that can actually help you overcome some of that confidence issue. and just that awkwardness of being in front of the camera. Talk about it with them. I talk to my clients about that all the time. If you're uncomfortable, like, tell me, do you feel stiff right now? Because you're looking really stiff. And they're like, that's not nice. And I'm like, well, I don't want you to look stiff. So let's like loosen you up. And then I'll make them wiggle, and sometimes we'll just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And that will help loosen them up. But
Yeah.
I know if they're feeling stiff, they're going to look stiff. So they have to communicate to their photographer as well.
Yeah, that's true. You are such an expert in this. You have so much information, even information that we talked about before the actual show, because of due to your many years in this industry. So that lends to your authority in this field. So I appreciate you coming on here and just sharing your insight and information with the audience. If you could leave them with a resource, but I think that we already gave them your brand audit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that they can.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell them like what's included in that brand audit is something that I don't think anybody else does. I will look at all your socials, and I will look at your website, and I will look at like what's working and maybe what needs to go away and get refreshed. And I will give you some tips on that. And again, would I love you all to work with me? Of course I would. However, you may not be near me and you may not want to fly me to see you, but I want you to know what you might need to upgrade what you have. So that offer is really special, and I hope people take advantage of it because it's a good one, for sure.
Yeah, and it's good that you're willing to, just give this information and really expect nothing in return. That's what it's all about. It's not always about gaining a client or getting a dollar, but just being able to help. That's what the show is for, to be able to just help people that may not be ready to invest, may not be able to invest, but they can gain those tidbits of information to help them along the way.
I'm a firm believer in to give, and it's there's a book out there, I think it's called The Giver's Gain or something like that, where I'm a giver and I want to help lift other women up. Business is hard, life is harder, and we get, there's seasons of our life that get heavy, and it just gets hard. And so if there's something I can do to help make that just a little bit easier, that's what I'm about. Yeah, that's why I genuinely hope people take advantage of that, because it's a great offer.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, take advantage of it. Reach out to Lisa if you want to possibly book her, take the audit to learn more and to help you get prepared for your next brand shoot, and to ensure that, yes, you're visible, but you're visible and you're making the right impression in how you're showing up online, in your marketing, in promotions, on your website. When people visit your website, they should be able to be, the first impression should be a positive one. And then, of course, it's going to make them want to learn more about you by seeing that you do take your business seriously. You take how you show up seriously. So if you could leave the audience with any last thing, Lisa, what would it be?
Well, I think I would also suggest that when they're doing their pictures, make sure you have a variety of some where you're standing, some where you're sitting, some when you're with a client, just so that you have a big, broad spectrum of pictures that you can use. So I think that is really key, and different outfits. So that, again, it creates that variety. And I think the other thing is, don't be afraid to shine your light. Shine bright, and don't worry about what other people think. And the thing is we're not noticing the things about you as you think we are. We are always harder on ourselves than anybody else. So just accept that you are an amazing person, and you need to like put that out there to other people. So don't be afraid of that. Just, talk to your photographer and have ask them how they work.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does the photographer or anyone in service interview you, but you have to interview them as well to make sure there's a synergy there and that they can provide what it is that you want. So thanks again, Lisa, for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. I enjoyed the conversation and look forward to connecting somewhere down the line. And for those of you who want to learn about me and what I do, I am, as I mentioned, an international image consultant, personal brand strategist. And you can visit my website, peoplepowerconsultancy.com, to learn more about what I do. This is the Image Connection Show. If you're watching the show on YouTube, please subscribe and tell a friend. Subscribe, like, and tell a friend. It is at the imageconnectionshow.com. So I appreciate your subscribing. And you can find me on Instagram at JennyD_PeoplePower and on LinkedIn as Jenny Dewberry. So again, thank you for joining us. Until next time, I wish you a wonderful rest of the week.
Thanks for tuning in to the Image Connection Show. We truly appreciate you being here. We hope you'll join us again. And don't keep it to yourself. Invite a friend to tune in too. If you're ready to gain insightful tips, tools, and strategies to enhance your image, brand, and help you along your entrepreneur journey, this is where you want to be. I'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, keep showing up with purpose, presence, and power.